Ah, now, if you know anything about Ken the Drone Guy, I'm a car enthusiast to the core. Well, wait, I used that already in the Concours d'Elegance video. Check that out on YouTube. Uh, anyway, this is... No, Doug DeMuro uses that already. Let's try something else. So today, courtesy of Alt Pride, located between Yaya Center and Gong Road, we have a Mercedes E-Class. And it's not your regular E-Class. We see a lot of them on the roads in Kenya, but this particular one is an E400, which means we have just a little bit more power under the hood. We have a little bit more details to go through and a lot of luxury, a lot of perks and quirks. You're going to enjoy this. Come with me. Let's go to right now we're on the road. It's a little bit noisy. Let's go to a place that's a little bit quieter. Let me show you the little perks and quirks in this car. You will be amazed. Come with me. Let's go. Oh wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have encountered a small issue. You know this Nairobi rains? It just started raining. But we did find a quiet spot, and I can tell you a little bit about the car. So we're going to go ahead and, even though it's raining outside, as you can see, the car has not changed. It's the same amazing car that I drove away in. Where do we start? Let's look. As I was telling you, this is not your regular E-Class. And how we ended up reviewing this car, I was shopping with a friend of mine at for a car, and we ended up at Alt Pride, and it happened to be the best dealership. The service that we got was just ridiculously amazing. And in the midst of that, we spoke about, you know, our love for cars and with the owner, and now we're at a point where I'm reviewing some of his cars. It's quite an amazing opportunity. It's something I've always wanted to do. I feel like there's some reviews out there that are not entirely that good. But without further ado, we decided let's go review a car. And today we have the Mercedes E400, and it's not the same E-Class you see every day. So let's start with just a little bit. The fact that it's an E400. This is a 6-cylinder, 3.5 liter car, and it is putting out 330 horsepower, and I believe it's a 440 Newton torque. So it is a powerful car. It's not the same E200 that you see everybody with out there. Now, based on the rain, there's not much I can show you outside. I mean, hopefully we get to get a few shots of the engine and what that looks like, even though there's not much to see there. But I want to show you the interior and some of the features that I believe as the car owner you would actually be enjoying. I love the small little things. And to start with, for whatever reason, when it started raining, my wipers went on. I did not do anything. The wipers just went on. Now, if that is not convenient, I don't know what is. And they go to the speed of however much rain is coming down, they will move a little bit faster. So you don't have to tinker around trying to figure out where you want, how much force you want your wipers to go with, or the speed of the wipers. It just happens automatically. Crazy stuff. Tech is, it's supposed to make our life easier, right? And that's what this car does. Mercedes is really good at they've done luxury and then they put it up one notch. It's crazy. I'm not a fan of Mercedes personally, just because of one thing. I love driving. I'm a BMW fanatic. I love the way BMWs drive. However, this car has impressed me 2,000 times over. It's kind of crazy how good it is. So the wipers went on by themselves. That's the feature number one. I don't even know how to turn on the wipers per se, but they just went on, and I can see clearly on the road, so we're good. Anyway, now let's get to some of the things I wanted to talk about in this car and some of the things that I played around with that I thought were pretty cool. So let's just start with one amazing feature that I've really enjoyed driving around this car today. The Burmester sound system. You think you've heard music and then you hear it on a Burmester system in a Mercedes-Benz, and the whole car is filled with the music, and it's like you're listening to your, well, I was listening to Nashinsky today, and he's inside the car. It's kind of crazy. Then you have your seat controls, pretty good, cool, regular stuff. But one thing to mention is the thigh support. So you pull this in front, and if you can see here, this moves back, and for somebody who's a little bit taller like I am, then you get that little extra support. So when you're driving, it's very comfortable. It's crazy comfortable. You can move your seat in so many multiple ways, you know, raise it, lower it, headrest even goes up and down. I mean, this is just ridiculously amazing. The luxury, the opulence here is just crazy. And then you have your memory seats, up to 3 memory settings. So if you press number 1, then you know your seat will go exactly to whatever position. So if you're people sharing a car in a house, for example, then one person can be programmed to number 1, such that when they get in the car, the car goes right to the setting. If they're a shorter person and need to go a little bit forward, then that is perfect for them. Else, I forgot to mention that we have heated seats in this particular car. Amazing. When it's cold, I mean, you can see the rain, it's getting cold right now. Once you do that, you have your 3 red dots. It means it's gonna be the hottest. Let's just put it this way. Somewhere I'm getting a little bit toasty, and it's nice. Now, the other thing I like though, you have no passenger, but there's no way to control the seat on the other side, your passenger seat. And it says it's way too forward, way too back. With this button here, I can press it, and whatever I do to this seat, it happens now on the passenger seat. That is such a cool feature, and just a convenient that you don't know you need it until that one moment you're trying to reach out to the passenger seat and trying to make sure that it's a certain way, the way you need it. Yeah, you can do it right from here in the comfort of this. Oh, and something I just noticed, it goes off very quickly afterwards. So you put it on, I spoke for a little bit and I think it went off by itself. So that's a cool feature. Now, so you have your adaptive cruise control, and this is the one where, you know, there's lighter sensing such that it can brake for you. It can, depending on how the car in front of you is moving, the car will brake and accelerate per need basis, depending on how the traffic looks like. One of the things I've been having a lot of fun with is, you know, picking up calls, and so you can do that on your steering wheel. Pick up your calls as long as you have your Bluetooth device connected. You can actually command the car to do certain things for you, and increase the volume of the music, and you can control your infotainment system. And on this side, we have one that controls the cluster. So there's a lot of options in the cluster. So that gives you information on, you know, your drive mode, if you want to go to echo displays, or how you want to display it, for example, or different driving modes. You can do that from here. And then, number 2, you have the paddle shifter. So when you're in sport mode, by the way, this guy is a lot of fun. Remember, you have a whole 330 horsepower. Yeah, it gets the job done. The cluster is quite customizable, really nice and new, very clear and everything. It's a good, it's not distracting. You have your kilometers in the middle, your RPMs, so you always know where you're at. You have how much mileage you have as far as the fuel you have in your car. That's really good to know, you know, as you drive around. Now we can move from this section to the infotainment, because that's what's exciting for me a lot. And I go back to, I'm a fan of BMW, but I'm falling in love with Mercedes. And yeah, anyway, we're not getting one just here, but there's so much control over the car. So what do we start with? Let's say the car settings where you have ambient lighting, right? And so if you can see, this car has this lighting here. And so for example, you have 64 different colors to pick from, which is kind of ridiculous, but I mean, not ridiculous. It's nice, right? You have options, and so you can pick one from the brightness, from very high brightness to low brightness, and then you can pick the colors. And the interesting part is that as you change it, so I'm changing it right now, and it is actually, so now we're in the teal, and we can go to blue, maybe, then sometimes, depending on who you have in the car, sometimes you have a lady, it's, Valentine's night for whatever reason, and you just want that red mood, and it's an option, it's right there for you. And you can see it's all, now everything inside the car is red and has that nice tone to it, a nice purple. But as you change it, you can see exactly what you're doing. So it's a pretty cool feature, depending on your mood for the day. Then there's the entertainment side, because as you drive, if you think about it, right, a car, not only does it take you from point A to B, it's also about the experience once you left point A and once you got to point B. It creates the difference between you being mad at everybody you meet at point B versus being happy with them, right? So one thing I really want to focus on the infotainment is CarPlay. Now, I've not seen somebody actually showed this. So basically, it is, whether you have an Android phone, there's Android Auto, and then there's Apple CarPlay. And what this does, it is a feature that mirrors your phone onto the car. So let's take a look at this, right? So I have an iPhone, so I will be using CarPlay and such. Now I connect through our USB cable to my phone, and if you see, my phone is now projected onto the car. It is quite an amazing feature. So for example, let's say I wanted to go somewhere, and specifically, I don't know, somewhere in, let's say we were going to Al's Pride from where we are today. By the way, we are at Cantamere Club right now, which is somewhere towards Limoro. But let's say we wanted to go to Al's Pride used car showroom. So I'll put it up on my phone, and I have a lot of things. So destination closed, open today. So right now it's a little bit late. We've spent a little time here. But if I go to Google Maps now, right, I can see the directions directly in front of me, where whatever turn by turn I need to do without having to take a look at my phone. It is such a convenient and a safety feature that, I mean, I don't understand why every car manufacturer is not doing this just yet, or why every other car is not coming with Apple CarPlay or Android. Because we all imagine the alternative is looking at your phone. Should I turn here? And by the time you're looking up again, something is going on. But if it's right in front of you, then you can actually just go and you're just following the car navigation. It's almost like the native navigation of the car, but coming from your phone. But better yet, now if I wanted to play some music while I'm going there, while I'm being guided to my destination, I just go to my Spotify account. In my Spotify account, I'll find my library, and today we've been listening to a lot of Sauti Soul radio. So I'll just go to Sauti Soul radio and pick the first song, and that's playing on. Now, for copyright purpose, I'm not gonna play this too loud, but but it's pretty good. It is pretty good. The sound system is amazing. Anyway, we'll take that down. Alright, on top of that, it gets better. It's this crazy system that puts your phone where you don't need to be looking at your phone now. It's you have this other system. I can, for example, go to my WhatsApp messages, both WhatsApp and WhatsApp Business. I mean, it is, and I'm driving, but I can concentrate. I can make phone calls from here. I can look at my calendar. I can go to my audiobooks and actually listen to an audiobook while I'm driving. I mean, this should be the standard everywhere. Anyway, the 2017 Mercedes E400 has that. Quite amazing. And of course, the Bluetooth calling. It's you don't need to get your eyes off the phone, off the road in order to do whatever you want to do. You can continue with your life. Say you're stuck in traffic, and you can be having a conversation without having to. And there's no policeman actually harassing you because you're on your phone while driving. So it's a really cool feature. The infotainment, if you ask me, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto also works very similar to this. It's just an amazing feature to have. So one other thing about this car, it is not only an E400, it is an E400 4MATIC. Now, if you know Benz a little bit, that 4MATIC means that it's a four-wheel drive, and it distributes power to all wheels. It does favor the rear wheel, since originally they're rear wheel drives, but it is a 4MATIC, so it's an all-wheel drive, so you get the power to all wheels. It is such an amazing drive. Coming here, like I said, I'm a BMW fan, but I'm being swayed. I'm being swayed to be on the other side, and there's nothing wrong with it. So for me, the way I feel about it is that BMW lets you drive the car, and you feel like you're part of the road. The steering is just a little bit stiffer. So I was driving this in Sport Plus mode, and it still was. I felt assisted. I didn't feel like I was driving the car myself. I'm a fan of driving, being in control of the car, and hugging the roads just a little bit more. While, for example, with this, as you go through corners, it cushions you just a little bit. You're not leaning to the side and suffer. There's something about that. I like the BMW side. There's nothing wrong with the other side. It's just this is more luxury. It assists you. There are even a lot of other assistant features. For example, like if you're sleeping and you're wavering off your lane, then the car will actually shake the steering wheel and wake you up in order to get back to your lane. The safety features, they're really cool. Oh, something else on the safety features, and assistive driving, right? It's you have whenever there's a car passing by, there's a little triangle that comes up on the side to warn you that in case there's something on your blind spot. And so all these assistive features, they're really cool, and a lot of them, especially like the side, I like that. But I like being one with the road. Also like when you accelerate, it gradually, even in Sport Plus mode, it gradually accelerates, versus when you accelerate in the Beamer, you just get all the power all at once, and it pushes you back. And so this one gradually takes you there. So it's just a preference. None of them are better or worse. It's just more of that's my preference. But this was an amazing ride. Now let me mention one more thing that's really cool on this. So there's so much sunroof in this car. Basically, you get for the front passenger and the driver, you get this humongous sunroof, and I think we were able to take shots of that during the day, and it opens up all the way. It lets in some really good sunlight. I think I got a little bit of a tan. But also for the rear passengers, they do have their own moonroof, and you can actually, you can get a little bit of sun. And it's really nice. Like, it's just this really cool space to be in. It lets in a lot of light. It's airy. You're just excited to be in this car. As you drive, if you're in traffic somewhere in there, it's going to be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be always frustrating, right? Yeah. You can do. See, we're already stressed with these matatus trying to overtake us and just, hustling us throughout the road. Why don't you enjoy it a little bit, So, and I think that is what this does. It's a really cool car through and through. I think, and to, like, the best part about, like, the cream of at the very top, we have this analog clock. If that does not spill opulence, it does not spill luxury. And an analog clock, you only see those in you've seen that in Rolls Royce, you see that in Maserati. I believe Aston Martin has the same thing, and then Mercedes-Benz also has one. It's pretty damn amazing. So if you do, you can check out this particular car at Altsprite, and once again, that's located right between Yaya Center and Ngong Road. So you can go to their website, altsprite.com. But the inventory is really put together well there, and check out the unit. If you want to test drive it, just go to the showroom and see. Maybe this is your car. And if you guys like this kind of video, I think we'll be doing a few more. Still polishing that piece up, but you let us know and write down in the comments what you would like to see. Anything I should have mentioned that I did not mention. And thank you so much, Altsprite. I look forward to the next car. I don't know what we're going to be looking at next. I'm excited to review another car and just see. For me, it's not necessarily to give you all the hard numbers. It's giving you the quirks and features that are within the car, and maybe that turns into something, the way a human uses the car, not about the horsepower and all that, which is important, don't get me wrong, but it's the way as a human you use your car. I think that's where getting from point A to B, the features you can actually enjoy, But anyhow, for now, thank you very much. So one thing I'm thinking of is having, as I review these cars, and you guys tell me, your call, kind of giving some form of a rating, right? And so if we do some form of a rating on different use cases and different features, maybe we can come up with a list of maybe best cars or that kind of thing. Anyway, let's see where this goes. Leave it in the comments. In the meantime, if you want to test drive this, Altsprite. Anyway, until the next one, Ken the Drone Guy. Adios.
Daddy, what is this?
Sky Perspective Production.
Hata aku feki mekata. Hata